You get the feeling that prosperity and self-worth and relationships are somehow interlinked? If you did, your intuition has served you well. Self-worth you feel, prosperity you have, and the relationships in your life all show you the story you have been telling yourself so far. Hi, I'm Hannah, and welcome to my Holistic Health channel, where you will find practical solutions for gut health, emotional imbalances, mental clarity, diet, exercise, and spiritual practices. My holistic health approach takes into account gut, mind, body, and soul. Today, however, we will look at how your thoughts, the story you create about life events, leads to your emotions, how you choose to feel about those events, and how emotions lead to the actions you take, which impact every kind of relationship you encounter. All of this adds up to the life you're living right now. So, if you're not happy with what you see around you, but you keep doing what you've always done, you're just going to get what you've always got. Could it be time for a different story? It's incorrect to assume that by self-worth and prosperity, I mean money in the bank. Same goes for relationships. You don't need money or relationships to have self-worth. But all three of these game changers require the same application from you. You see, most of us have learned through society, our parents and teachers, that when we're bad, we need to be punished. It doesn't even have to be deemed socially bad. It could just be something someone doesn't like, I don't like what you said, so I'm going to punish you by not talking to you. But how does this relate to prosperity and self-worth? Leading psychologist and one of my all-time favorite teachers, T. Harv Eker, author of the best-selling book, The $1 Million Mindset, suggests that most people with low self-esteem feel the need to be punished for being bad in some way. And so, when it comes to receiving the reward of success or career satisfaction or relationships, if you don't deem yourself good enough, then you will punish yourself with inaction, or to use a really popular spiritual phrase, self-sabotage. Something else super common in this space is spiritual believers who want to use meditation and visualization to make their desires simply appear. And as you know, if you follow my blogs, while this is absolutely possible and necessary, the universe only knows one response, and that is yes. So you can sit and meditate and visualize to your heart's content, but if the vibe you're giving off is, I don't think I'm good enough, the universe will say, yes, okay, you are not good enough. Here are some not good enough experiences. The universe doesn't judge the emotions you choose, it simply responds with experiences to match the emotions you're giving off. And that is what is called free will. As Abraham Hicks always says, you are so free, you can choose bondage. What you see around you shows you what is going on inside you. Your relationships with money and people are good gauges as to where you stand on the worthiness spectrum. Generally, relationships and money are key drivers as they often mean so much to people, rightly so. But to turn things around starts with the awareness of why you are doing it. Could it be we've been listening to others for far too long? Starting with our parents, then our teachers, which train some of us to seek validation from everyone around us. Harv Eker always says, what was said to me doesn't matter, what matters is what I say to me. He reminds us that most of the time, our memory isn't even accurate. Neither is our ability to truly know what anyone else is thinking. So why would we spend 1 minute believing anything anyone else says? And that goes for compliments too. When someone says something nice to you, you can deduce that they're feeling really good inside. If someone says something unpleasant to you, you can conclude they're not feeling very good, but only in that moment. All this tells you is that people are fickle. You should never base your personal worth on the opinion of someone whose view of you can change with their mood, which pretty much rules out every person on this planet. So, what story have you chosen to tell so far. How come two children, same household, have completely different stories? One child was destined to steal when he grew up in poverty with an abusive father. Meanwhile, the sibling went on to be a famous surgeon. Why? He was destined to succeed. He grew up in poverty with an abusive father, so had plenty to learn off of. The path of blame and pain, or for learning and success, is open to anyone. Whatever you've chosen so far really doesn't matter. All your power is in the now. So, you built a story that doesn't serve you. Create another one. It may take time, but soon enough, you will live your new story. Try Harv Ekker's exercise as a starting point. Don't worry, I'll have the notes down below. Answer these questions by writing them down. 1. What is the story of my life? How did I get to where I am today? List all the stories you have created about who you are. Feel free to share them with everyone if you want. I mean, we really are all in this together. You can comment them down below. 2. Do my relationships, money, and self-worth reflect my story? What is a new story I could write? Remember, you can't make massive jumps in the emotional scale. I'll post more suggestions on how to move up the emotional scale soon. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified. Basically, if you're on the bottom end of the scale called unworthy, then trying to jump all the way up to a story where you're rich and famous and worthy is not really believable for you right now. So begin by taking smaller steps while your confidence is growing. One of my favorite people ever, Jerry Hicks, used to say, stand just far enough from that basket that you make the hoop, but far enough that it feels satisfying when you do. Some examples of a new story you could tell are, I have decided to let go of my story of not good enough. My parents only wanted what's best for me and really didn't have the tools to do any better at the time. I know that little by little, I will focus upon all the things I can do and have done right, and this will become my new reality. I know that over time, with repeated attention to all the good that I am, the universe will send me experiences to match my new story. I may not have it now, but I'm capable of attracting prosperity and self-worth. Or how about, I've had stories I've repeated about my childhood, and I make it my ever quest to stop replaying anything that I didn't like. Instead, when I catch myself reminiscing, my negative emotions always tell me they aren't serving me. I simply decide to choose another happier story to replay. Over time, this will become my new habit of thought. If you practice this long enough, eventually your new story will take hold and be your new reality. One where you conquered and succeeded no matter what anyone else was thinking or doing. And when you show yourself that what you think and feel creates the reality you are experiencing, you will know for sure that everything around you was created by you on purpose. Now that is true worthiness. When you can show yourself that you are the creator of your reality, that you can choose to think and feel, then you will know your true power and your true worth. After this, prosperity and relationships will flow effortlessly into your life, reflecting the new inner you and your self-worth, the new story you have created. But don't look to anyone else to validate this ever, because they will only show you how they're feeling inside and only in that moment. So when someone pays you any kind of comment, good or bad, in future, say out loud, "Thank you for sharing." Then quietly in your head think, "This says nothing about me." This world is already seeing the evidence of people creating miraculous lives, seemingly out of thin air. This is the time of abundance. The time is now to see what mankind has been asking for. The time is now to see all that you have asked for. All that's left is for you to step up and own it. I'm so thrilled to be on this journey with you all. I have certainly learned many of my own life lessons, which has led me into the counselor I am today. So for that, I am ever thankful. If you want more advice on creating the best version of you and your life, subscribe now down below and hit that bell. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm always looking to my clients and followers for what they would like to hear when it comes to physical and mental health or spiritual practices. So leave me a comment with what your biggest issues are right now, and I promise I'm reading and listening. So until then, have a beautiful, heart-centered day.